am so excited. I have Miss Charmin Rickards here with me. She's the CEO of Mosaic Mindset Mastery Academy. Hi, Charmin.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm doing
Hey,
well. How are you?
I am great. And thank you for having me here with you today.
Oh,
Appreciate it.
it's my pleasure. So I really want to start here by having you please take a minute to introduce yourself to our audience and tell us a little bit more about where you come from and specifically your business and experience as a successful business owner and entrepreneur.
All right. So I was born in Georgia, Brunswick, Georgia, and grew up in Lewis, Rehoboth, Delaware area. And now I reside in Northern Virginia by way of the military, which I did 22 years, 5 months, and 7 days. And I went from enlisted to officer and retired as a lieutenant commander, healthcare administrator. And so I, I have 5 beautiful kids, 2 of them that I gave birth to. In 92 days, I'll be getting married to the love of my life. She and I will, are celebrating in the midst of COVID. We're still, if it's just her and I, we're still going to be there, and our family's going to be there. So I'm excited about that. And
Congratulations.
thank you. And taking that journey, it's been, you know what they say, when you buying a house, planning a wedding, or getting a divorce, those are kind of some of or maybe even starting a business, right? They're very stressful, right? But there are people that we can, that it's not about the how, right? It's about the who. And so we have wedding planners, right? So with that being said, my entrepreneur journey, as I was thinking about this, really over the past couple of years, it's in my DNA. And I say that because as a young girl, my stepfather, growing up in Delaware or in Rehoboth Beach area, we from May into September's high volume traffic, prior to everyone migrating from the north, from New York and stuff coming down, buying a lot of the land. We always my stepfather always had a side hustle.
Yep.
And so I was the youngest of 5. I'm the only girl. So I wanted to go and earn as much as my brothers did. So it wasn't anything that I wasn't willing to do in order to get my I love me cash as well, right? To go to skating and movies and things of that nature. And so it was that foundation that established the entrepreneurship DNA that I have inside of me. And so after retiring with 22 years in the military, I was sitting down with a mentor, and he says, hey, work on your boring job, work on getting your boring job, but work on 20% of what you're passionate about. And so with that, I was like, oh, in the military, they teach us, you're a master all, jack all, they tell you what to do, you get it done. And especially as a commissioned officer, yes, I have a specialty, but not necessarily always knowing when I went into another duty station, was there someone there to give me a pass down, or did I have that particular training? It was like on the job training, or you utilize your resources, which is your network, which is all in line with what we do as business owners. And so the name Teachable, Learnable Solution symbolizes what I used to say to the junior sailors that I had the honor to lead. And I would be like, hey, I got a story, here it go. It's a teachable, learnable moment. And so I tell the story because I felt as though if I shared my successes or my challenges, it could help anyone, right? One, help you know some of the success strategies that help me with my success, or know what not to do because of my challenges. And so that's where the name Teachable, Learnable Solutions came from. And so after talking to my mentor, I did consulting with the federal government and civil rights. I'm a diversity professional and certified diversity professional. And so that was the space. But in that, and I do enjoy that space, but in that space I also love helping women that have the same experiences as I turn their passion into a profit. And so that is where I'm pivoting today with my business. And I'm so excited. I can't even go to sleep sometimes at night because I want to make sure that I get, that I'm doing what I need to do in order to launch this program and be the best that I can be. Right. So that's me in a nutshell. I'm just excited. You know how you just can't sleep. You're like that little kid on, you're going to high school and you don't know which outfit you want to put on. And so you're just trying them all on, or, that's the kind of excitement that I have in what I'm doing.
You
So
definitely
I can't
have
wait to share. I can't wait to share.
Yeah, that's exciting. I can't wait as well. I'm looking forward to that. Well, so now with all that you have going on, I mean, you must have had some fears that you had to overcome. You want to share that with us?
Oh my. Yes. I mean, I think the first fear is that subconscious mind telling you that you can't because of your past, right? Because of the past or society, the culture, parents, teachers telling you that you can't do something or be something. And so, we call that the imposter syndrome. And so we have to rewrite that script that's going on in our subconscious by taking action, small steps, and taking that action. So that's just one of those fears. The other one is the fear of perfection, right? Just like how we are all pivoting in the midst of COVID, and we're all having to socialize or tell our story via social media and having to be on camera, right? So who wants to, so you want to always be perfect, and you don't necessarily need to be perfect because people don't want perfect people. They don't follow perfect people. They want to be with people that they can know, relate, and trust. And so you have to show those imperfections to the ones that you're serving so that they can relate to you. And so that was another another fear, or that, the fear of perfection. Another fear that goes along again with that self-doubt is with imposter syndrome is self-doubt, right? We're always doubting ourselves. Like I remember, I came into the military undesignated, and that meant that I didn't have a job. I did own the job training. And then once I got in, I could choose what career track I wanted to be in. So I was like the glorified janitorial services. And I was okay with that because I like to be in clean spaces. So I felt like, hey, it was my mission to make sure the spaces were clean. So, right. So, but, I never thought that I would be what we call what's a hospital corpsman, but it's equivalent to an LPN, because I had a fear of needles. But now I don't have a fear of needles. I don't even have a fear of sticking people with needles, right? Also, I had the self-doubt that because I was told that I wasn't a good reader because I came from the South to the North, and so my pronunciation of words was different because of my accent. So it wasn't the fact that I wasn't a good reader. It was just that I had a different accent that pronounced the A-E-I-O-U's when you're pronouncing and doing the phonetics of the words. So being in special education classes coming up really played on self-doubt for me, which I did not like to read because I thought that I didn't read well. So I always feared away from that. So being in the military, I was able to overcome that by learning by small accomplishments, getting promoted. Once I got promoted, then finishing up my degree and not being afraid to raise your hand and ask questions, and then graduating with honors with my undergraduate, getting commissioned, putting in a commissioning package, getting commissioned which is you meet the requirements, but then you have to be selected and you have to interview, and being able to articulate why we should have you, why we should select you over everyone else. You know, who talks about that, you know, about themselves in that manner. That's something that you have to learn. And then just the impact that I had on the sailors that I served with, that still today come and tell me how I've impacted their life. So that self-doubt though at the beginning was just like kryptonite, keeping me away from my greatness. And so I just had to get over that by taking small steps, like not trying to swallow the whole elephant, but just eating it one bite at a time, and until you're finishing it.
I was going to ask you, can you give us some tips that maybe you use, like such as meditation or anything else like that, or a mentor? How did you?
Definitely, you know, I have a coach, right? And so you have to clean up you have to realize what some underlying issues that you may have in life that is holding you back from your greatness. And so you have to get your mind, body, and soul right, and your spirit, before you can, you know, be your greatness. So before you can work in your purpose, because all of those things are going to hold you back. And so it is all about, you know, counseling, right? So I go to counseling. I have coaches. I have a circle of influence, which are like-minded individuals that are trying to accomplish the same thing and want to lift each other up, and aren't not necessarily looking, you know, being in a space where people are giving. Everyone is giving. That is such a great feeling. And not only that, having the support of your loved ones as well. And so, you know, as well as, you know, you have to establish a morning routine, right? So, and, you know, I have to be very transparent, is that when I retired from the military, I retired some of my habits that were good, right? Like working out, right? Okay. Like, I was like, Lord, and you know, I'm getting married like in 90 some days, right? So I'm like, whew, running on these knees is just not the same, right? But it's small incremental steps towards success. And so for the first time in probably about 5 years, I was able to run 2 miles straight again. And it's like, because you have to get out of your head of saying you can't do it, because you're drawing all of that energy towards yourself, and then you're not gonna do it because, you know, the law of attraction.
100%. Yeah.
So you gotta say, like, Mel Robbins has a book called 5-second rule, right? So you gotta like just say the 5-second rule, and just, you know, practice that, and just get up and not say, like, I would say to myself the night before that I knew I wasn't going to get up at 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock to work out. Well, guess what? It didn't happen because I put that into the space, right? I put that into the universe. Instead, you got to say, I'm getting up no matter what time I go to bed, right? And when we're young, you know, I'll be 49 my birthday. So when I was young, you know, we partied all day and then got up and went to work, right? So it's got to be the same type of mentality. So those are some of the, you know, getting up in the morning, working out, meditating, you know, however you meditate, even if it's just for 5 minutes, having a personal mantra, right? I don't know if you know Gloria Mayfield Banks, but she's got this mantra: living, caring, giving, sharing. Boy, oh boy, I want to work with the daring. Imagine me, I'm a magic, you got to listen to it, right? I don't have it memorized all the way because it's not really mine, right? But you got to create those I am statements, right? And post them, right? Sticky notes, right? Just post them everywhere. Just, you know, the visual board in the background, right over here, right? Just you just got to have those constant reminders of what it is that you want to be and where you're going to and how you're going to get there. And then, you know, so those are some of the main ones. And starting out, so, you know, plan your day before the day.
Yeah.
Right. And then for me, what works well for me is I like checklists.
Okay.
I might not get it all done, right, that day, but if I see that I'm checking off stuff off of my list, it's such a great, it gives me a sense of accomplishment.
Accomplishment, yeah.
And then I could just put whatever I didn't finish, and you prioritize that list, right? What's important? What is the must things I have to do, right, in order to accomplish the goal that I'm trying to accomplish, and be intentional and laser focus, right? And then those things that you don't get done that aren't high on your priority list, you just move them to the next day, right? And then add to it and then check it off. And then over the course of doing that, for me, I see what I've accomplished because I checked it off my list. And some people don't like lists. I like lists, right? I like journals, right? Or day plan, like planners, right? Yeah. So, you know, to the point where I'm going to create my own.
I love that.
Yeah. So those are some of my morning routines that just being positive, be a power of positivity. Like, tell somebody, like, I have friends and, you know, I go on social media in a group and I'll be like, hey, you know, it's Motivational Monday, right? Or it's Terrific Tuesday. How do you feel, right? Or what are you grateful for today, right? And just seeing how everyone is responding and connecting instead of getting up, be like, oh, I hate my job. Then guess what? You're going to just feel that way all day. Just get up with a sense of gratitude.
Love that.
You know, because it's going to change your attitude. So
look at that rhyme.
You like that? You like that? That's a t-shirt. Comment hashtag.
I love it.
So yeah, so it's just, and it's not something that is easy because we have all of this information. We're in a stage of information overflow. So you have all of this information just coming at you, right? All these different people telling you to do things this way, buy this program, do this program, da 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 da. It's like, woo, and you're click, purchase, click, purchase, click. You know, it's just, you know, so you just gotta, like, you know, find the one that voice, one person or group of people or tribe that has the moral compass that is going to take you on the path of success. See, it's all about it. When someone expresses their heart, right? And every time they tell their story, you can feel it. And it's the same story. Different because it's the signature story.
Yeah.
And you feel it every time. And they're giving and they're giving and they're giving and they're giving and they're giving. That's the voice. That's the tribe you need to be in.
100%. That's what reaches your heart for sure.
Exactly.
I love that. So on that note, define success. What does success mean to you?
Yes. I love that one. All right. So success means to me working in my God-given purpose, right? The gift that he gave to me. Because see, all of us, whatever higher being that you believe in has given you a gift when they birthed you, right? When they've given you life, because we are all created in his likeness for the one that I serve.
Yes. Right?
And so if I'm created in his likeness, then that means I am guilty by greatness. Hashtag.
I love that. Guilty
right?
by greatness.
Guilty by greatness. And so I want to be able to serve in my God-given gift anywhere that there's electric and great Wi-Fi connectivity.
Yep.
To create not only generational wealth and a financial legacy for my family, but for other families as well, and particularly women. And the reason why I say women, and and if we want to nail it down even further, is women of color, our Black and brown, right? Because research says that one, there's, when it comes to entrepreneurship, women are the ones that the largest population. But what are they lacking? Right? One is lack of funds, right? Another one is lack of confidence, lack of network, lack of resources. Well, guess what? That I've spent a significant amount of money on learning. And through the learning, I've been able to capsulate a plethora of resources.
Amen.
And and so when you join the program that I have, then you get them at a fraction of the cost that I've already paid for.
Exactly.
Right? I'm not going to charge you what I got. I mean, I'm just, no, because you may not be there.
Right.
Right. And so that is what I want to do. And it's called, and it's for them, it's helping them identify their passion and turn it into a profit. Because when you look at historically, like history, we have universities, we have colleges, we have business schools, we had masterminds, right? We call it fastermind. You call it collective. You call it a possibility syndicate. What you call it, a group of like-minded individuals that are collectively and collaboratively sharing their thoughts, their resources, themselves to help each other out.
And escalate.
So
yes.
Exactly. And so that's how I define success. When I'm working in my passion, my God-given purpose, helping other women of color turn their profit into a passion so they can create generational wealth and financial legacies. Because we already know that data shows who are raising, the kids. You have your single family mothers, and not only that, we're powerful.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
So we gotta we gotta band together.
100%. 100%.
So and instead of the crab barrel theory, we need to squash it. We need to and I have a friend, her name is Karen Walker, and she says, I'm here to be your best advocate. And you've heard plenty of other sayings where I'm here to help you fix your crown, right?
Straighten that one. Yeah.
Exactly. Right. Because I'm not, I'm here to help. I want to add my unique value.
Yes.
To you, or to anyone that I come in contact with. I'm a natural giver.
Love that.
Right. And I, so I like, if I can help you get to where you want to go, then that is great. That gives me fulfillment. Right?
Where can people find you? I mean, to your website, social media, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
The best way to get a hold of me is through Facebook.
Okay.
And it is Charmin N Rickards is my main Facebook page. And just, you can, DM me. You can, I'm always, on social media, again, I'm trying to practice, some control, if you will, some intentional, what is the communication with family, and when family time is family time, and then when work is work, and which I consider being on social media to be work, right? Yes. Otherwise, you know, I tell my kids, and I got two 21-year-old, a 19-year-old, 15, and a 13-year-old. And I'm like, look, y'all need to make your phones work for you. You need to make some money with those phones that we're paying for, partners. Miss that. So I have to be intentional about turning it off. And so, but for the most part, over the next months, I'm very intentional about my efforts with regards to the program Passion to Profit that I'm going to be launching really soon. So I'm working on that landing page. That's why I didn't give it out. But if you can reach out to me via the social media. I do have my email set up, which is Charmin at Passion to Profit with the number 2.me, and you can reach me that way as well. And I'm excited about it. Really excited.
I'm looking forward to it. So I have one more question for you. Knowing everything that you know now, okay? If you had to start all over again, and this is great advice actually for new entrepreneurs or people that are relatively new to business or coming out of the corporate, switching careers, wanting to start something for themselves. Knowing that you know now, if you had to start all over again, how would you go about that, launching the business?
One, some self-reflection of finding your why. Because all too many times people chase a dollar. And it's not about the dollar. It's about working it's about working in your passion. Yeah. And then, I mentioned this before, just being laser focused and intentional. We as entrepreneurs have, I'm just going to say Charmin as an entrepreneur has the shiny squirrel object syndrome where like, oh yes, that's exciting. Oh, I'm going to do this. Oh, I'm going to do that. Oh, I'm gonna do that. So you heard me talk about what I call some Charminisms, or we can call them the Charmin effect, or whatever the case may be, like hashtag guilty by greatness, or having a attitude of servitude or gratitude, right? All those little those positive affirmation sayings, So I have an ideal around that, right? Well, I need to focus on one thing and be laser focused, and then put that idea in another place. Right? In another place. Not that I'm not going to do it. It's not that time yet. So in order to not lose it, we got to write it down.
I like
right. It. So then listen to one voice. As I mentioned, it's always, you have a lot of people that, due to social media, that's reaching out to everyone, trying to upsell you some product, some service in order to get you to where you think you want to go. So listen to one voice who demonstrates proven success strategies for your business model, right? For your business model. And join and implement, like for me, I join an implementation program. When you're working in your passion, you don't need any other anything else. You have it within you. Right. But what you need to know is how to get it out of you and implement it.
Exactly.
And so you need to be around those like-minded individuals that are already there where you're trying to go, and that are going to lift you up, right? And then fail forward. Mentor John, one of my mentors, right? John Maxwell. And I say he's a mentor because I've been a John Maxwell enthusiast. I'm a certified John Maxwell executive, and he speaks to failing forward, or I'm sure you've heard, jump and grow your wings on the way down, right? And because if we don't fail, then we don't try.
Right.
So just fail forward, not backwards. Fail forward, where you're learning from that failure, and so when you go again, you already know how to navigate what caused you to fail. And then create a roadmap, or what I like to call, what we call in the military, a plan of action with milestones. So that's where I get that checklist from, right? So, if it's, you're building out curriculum, or or if you are working in the government contract space, then you need to do a checklist. You need to get your entity, you need to get your DUNS, you need to get the EIN, all of that, the entity stuff set up, get your your finances set up. So do a checklist. That way, that those are the things that you need to accomplish, and some things need to accomplish in a sequential order.
Yeah.
And then, but know that, research that, and know that, and put that plan of action, and then those milestones, because the milestones are the things that you may not be able to get until you get the other thing. Exactly. And then it may be timely, right? So, or you may need some assistance, or you need to, depending on how you're doing. If you're still working a full-time job, you might need to wait until you have so much time so that you can take off. So you can take that course at the SCORE, right? Or the Women's Business Center, or what have you. So those are 5-6 things that I would say would help restart if I had to start over again, those would be the things that I do. So I would just
love that.
Yeah.
Love that. You just provided so much valuable information, and I'm so excited, and I really hope that we can reach some amazing people and help give them a boost, especially like you mentioned earlier, we're still in that whole COVID situation. So there's still a lot of uncertainties for everyone. And, people like us have to keep up the level of energy for the people around us, and hopefully reach and help as much as we can.
Right. And, and it is so important to, we're all on social media, right?
Yeah.
But what about mastering online marketing?
There you go.
And finding out who's great at doing it.
Yeah.
And modeling them, not copying them, but modeling them.
Yeah.
So, because when COVID hit, what happened to the employment? People were out of jobs.
Right.
There's some people that aren't going back to jobs because the jobs just don't have the capacity to open up from what COVID has caused.
Right.
And so why not look at the things, why not look at what you can do with a passion, right? Learning, finding a passion, and then dreaming out loud.
You know what? It's funny, when this whole thing happened, I honestly felt like God, the universe, Mother Nature, whatever a person's belief system is, it almost like it said, let me just slow you down.
Yeah, definitely.
Reboot and go back to basics.
Oh, exactly. Right. We slow this down. People are exercising,
Yeah.
right? Because you got the COVID-15 or the COVID-19 right around the waist. Because I'm gonna tell you, me myself, I was trying to eat every Oreo from these boys before they ate it. Right? I'm like, you're eating Oreos for dinner, the serving size you have, not a snack. And then not only that, just so the family time, the exercising, you're right, the carbon monoxide footprint that we put here on Earth, because we're driving, right? We're just, right? And we're just slowing down. And so you are exactly right. You're exactly right. That's what I believe, the same thing, like, pause for a minute. Right. And a lot of people are reading. I know me. Yes. I'm reading. Right. Like, okay, what book? Like now it's like, okay, I'm on a Kindle. I'm on Audible. I'm like, I do like the physical book too. I'm like, let me read this one. Oh, this is good. Like you see, like most of my books got like tabbed out.
There you go.
They're tabbed out, like highlighted, so I can reference it, again. But you're exactly right. That's what it is. And there's some lessons to be learned. Yes. I'm trying to, from this, and so we're, the world has been here before.
Yeah.
And we're here. So guess what?
It's time to level up.
Yeah, and it's gonna be great.
I think so too. Yeah.
That's
a blessing, I think. I mean,
this ain't any different.
Yeah, exactly.
So, we just didn't experience it in our lifetime.
There you go.
So
I love that. Oh my goodness. Well, it's been such a pleasure. Gotta
Yeah.
wrap it up, but I so enjoyed having you. Thank you
Thank
again for
you.
taking the time. And I really look forward to having you again.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, dear.